Offer extended. Offer not accepted. This is Nelson with Nelson Radio, and you're challenged by today's rush to real estate, all combined with a concern that by the time you find your dream home, higher rates will price you out of the market. I've got the answer. With my Mortgage Market exclusive lock and shop rate guarantee, you can freeze today's low interest rates, shop for your new home, all with a peace of mind that your rate is waiting for you at the finish line. Call or click 888-888-2136 or click through on strongcreditrewards.com.
This is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. You chose to be here. This is not by accident that you're here now and in this program. You want to take your performance to the highest level. You want to dominate. You physically work hard. Now that's important. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available to you. Not just for some, but for you to live it fully. You can do it too. Enjoy this journey. This program is your secret weapon. Be a Beast on Nelson Radio.
And this is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio, heard right here on KLAA AM 830 with myself, Nelson, business leader and professional coach, and Dave Austin. Dave Austin, mental performance coach extraordinaire. Dave Austin. Huh?
Wow.
I know
it. Just
it.
gets better. We got to keep doing these shows.
I know it.
And this keep coming up with new words.
I'm going to describe you a new way, but the dynamic element of our coaching is about performance, and mental performance specifically, how we can coach up and train you up to perform better, whether it's in the locker room or in the boardroom. That's what this program is about.
Well, the neat thing about it is it doesn't matter if you're an executive or an aspiring entrepreneur, a collegiate or professional athlete, or someone who's in, performance matters. Well, you know what? That kind of is all of life. So here's how you engage in our training. We have one-day Beast corporate training. We have Beast on a 30-day group training. We have the Beast annual membership, which is really cool because we have all the film of the footage of the animals. It really just anchors what you have. So in that one moment, you've got a trigger that, yes, you just shift into the right attitude, which is so important. We have one-on-one coaching and the video training series. So that's all it is, and Be a Beast. And everyone can be a beast.
So you really hear cool. This program, we want you to engage. Get involved in our training in whichever package that will work for you. You can reach out to us direct, 888-888-2136. I get accused of saying that number too fast every week. I'm going to slow down. It's 888-888-2136, or simply text the word BEAST to 313131, and we'll respond immediately.
I love it. You're even coachable.
I'm coachable somehow, some way. But it's, here we are, the backdrop of the Olympics that have just concluded. There was so many testimonies as they produce every time the Olympics and the 3,000 athletes in this case perform. I've been to opening ceremonies for the Winter Olympics twice, and I can tell you firsthand the emotion and the who would have thunks that come up. Whether it's the presentation of opening ceremonies or the actual performance by the athlete, there's stuff that comes up that you just don't plan for.
Well, absolutely. One of the things I love watching the Olympics is, of course, being a mental performance coach, I watch these kind of things. And so often you'd hear this, and so his coach or his mental performance coach is whispering in his ears. So, I have a big question for you listeners out there. Who's whispering in your ears so that you can be the best in anything you do? Because we all hit hurdles. We all hit walls that we've got to find a way through. That's what this is all about. And that's what's so much fun about this show, because we bring on such interesting guests that are doing well, but they've gone through everything to get there, just like you, the listener. And in the Olympic sports, you're seeing these people, you're hearing their stories, what they've gone through to achieve their success.
Yeah, and the real stuff that comes up along the way, whether that's injury or doubt that seeps in, or fear, or, just like when we had Keith Wagner on the show last week and we were talking about butterflies, and he said that there's such a value in butterflies, the trick is to getting them to fly in formation. And I thought, oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant in terms of, that's how to take something that's perceived as a negative that can be destructive and turn it into something that's constructive.
That's it. That's what it's all about. That's what we talk about the shift. That's why the trigger that Roger Anthony has developed, the anchor system. And again, we'll bring him out of the bush in the third segment where he'll anchor what we talk about with our great guest today. I'm so excited. Can you tell us a little bit about our guest?
We've got Orgina Rose, and she has her television show, The Orgina Rose Show. Dynamic entertainer earlier in her career, now refocusing and just bringing inspiration. And I love that. I almost want to see, every time I see her, I want to say, are you inspired yet? So we're going to have Orgina Rose coming up. Contact us direct. This is Be a Beast on KLAA AM 830 888 2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or click through at nelsonradio.com, or easier yet, text the word BEAST to 313131. Stay with us. Orgina Rose next.
Angels Radio.
AM 830.
Be a Beast on Nelson Radio spends a lot of time vetting out true professionals. Insurance Inc. is one of our best. Cutting premiums up to 40%. Insurance Inc. We want you to contact them direct. 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or go to insuranceinc.com.
Protect your family's future with an AmeriState Living Trust. It doesn't take as much time or cost as you may think. If you own a home or have children, you need a living trust. With an AmeriState Living Trust, you can protect your family and have peace of mind. The experts at AmeriState Legal Plan have helped more than 35,000 families safeguard their future. Their services are half the cost of pricey law firms. Don't delay any longer. Call today, 888-888-2136, and get an additional $250 off. AmeriState Legal Plan. Looking forward, planning wisely.
Do you ever want a secret weapon? Be a Beast training video is your weapon. From the locker room to the boardroom, success is not by accident. Performance is not by chance. You want to get your mind right? Perform at the highest level? Dominate your marketplace? Be a Beast training video is the answer. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available for you to live it fully. You can do it too. The Be a Beast training video is your secret weapon. 888-888-2136. Let me say that again. 888-888-2136, or text BEAST to 313131.
Angels Radio, AM 830.
This is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio with our Be a Beast training series with myself, Nelson, and Dave Austin, mental performance coach, my special co-host. You can contact us direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or text the word BEAST to 313131. Dave, we're excited to bring another dynamic personality as one of our guests.
Well, that's the fun of this show, is bringing on people who, just simply perform year after year. From Broadway to Oprah. What is the secret for talent being recognized and being seen? And so exciting to bring Orgina Rose.
Yeah. And the Orgina Rose Show. And that's, Orgina, I want to ask you this question to open up in terms of there's this thirst out there, especially coming out from an economic standpoint, coming out of the Great Recession. There's a thirst in our culture for people to be seen or re-seen. Do I count? I've gone through some trauma. Does anybody care? Kind of a thing. And I know that in a different way, a different aspect, but that's the cornerstone of your show, your television show, The Orgina Rose Show, isn't it?
Absolutely. And first, just thank you so much for having me here, and I'm so glad to be here. And absolutely, the show is all about shining a light on those who are letting their light shine. So there are so many amazing people doing wonderful work in the world, and they're not seen or heard. And then there are so many people who don't feel empowered with their voice to get their message out into the world in a really bigger way. And so the show is all about really helping people to do that.
How about your own voice? You know, you've been
Yes.
through a journey. You know,
Yes.
Broadway,
Absolutely.
Oprah, the whole thing. I mean, you know, so you can relate to this up close and personal.
Absolutely. I went through my own challenges around that. Even after singing on Broadway, I actually stopped singing for 3 years. And it was so much around the lack of confidence. Even though I had already achieved so much, I even performed Carnegie Hall twice and was obviously on Broadway, but I still was plagued with so much lack of self-confidence, lack of confidence in the gifts that I had. And so
Where do you
I
think
really
that came
was-
from? I mean, you're obviously, you've been performing since you were a young girl. I think since you were 5.
Yes.
And I wouldn't associate lack of confidence with
Right.
anything that you've done.
Yes, and for me, it stemmed from a number of messages that I had received from others. And specifically, there was a major event that happened for me through a choir teacher, actually, when I was in my early teens, who actually told me singing was not my thing. I couldn't sing, and the voice wasn't so great. And it absolutely devastated me, but it also sparked something in me to say, wait a minute, I'm not going to agree with that. I'm actually going to prove her wrong. And it literally set me on a course to do exactly that. And 4 years later, I got the joy to sing in front of that very same teacher and watch her mouth drop as my voice was huge and I was singing a solo. So it was a wonderful lesson and a moment for me in really overcoming that message that I had received. But I have found in working with so many voices and coaching people for 20 years now that a lot of people don't get there. A lot of people don't get over those messages. They don't find something within themselves or something bigger and outside of themselves to reach through and make it over that hurdle. So
You know, when those moments happen,
Absolutely.
it's a moment of decision. We either can lose our faith,
Yes.
lose our hope,
Yes.
and just crawl up,
Yes,
or we can tap into something greater.
absolutely.
So it sounds like you chose to take the high flight.
I did, and I'm really grateful for that.
There's such a parallel track, too, because when I was in high school, I had one of my counselors, get this, one of my counselors had said, you should drop out of high school. Learn a vocation.
I love
He
that pause, right? Just silence.
wanted me to learn a vocation. I, said,
Wow.
hey, get out of high school. You're not going to succeed here. You're going to fail as a student. And okay,
Oh,
I was
my
a wayward teenager in some respects, but I knew that I had some mission and vision in me, and it
Yes.
wasn't with Truckmasters. and so here now, I haven't done this. You had the opportunity to sing back in front of this
Yes.
this teacher.
Yes.
I haven't gone back to my counselor in high school with my diploma from UC Irvine and any other list of accomplishments that I've achieved. But it was a stimulator. It was an agitator where, you know what, I did something with it. I could have chose to follow the advice or have that as a motivator.
Adam, our line producer here, I just take note of this, that we're going to look up whoever this guy is, and we're going to force him to listen to this show. You're going to have your moment. You're going to have your moment.
I think that's really powerful. I think that's awesome. Yeah, to have that moment where you get to say, look, And for me, I remembered practicing, if I ever saw that teacher again, what I would say to her. And what was so beautiful is I didn't have to. When she heard me and she saw me, seeing the look on her face and the shock it already did it. I knew she got the message to not ever tell another human being what they cannot do.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Absolutely.
You're listening to Orgina Rose. We're on Be a Beast on Nelson Radio right here on KLAA AM 830. Contact us direct, 888-888-2136, or text the word BEAST to 313131. Or Gina, I've got to ask this question because you did step away for a period of time, a
Yes.
3-year gap in your career. What brought you back? What was the stimulator that brought you back?
For me, I attribute this to the other reason that I now know, it was kind of hindsight, why I stepped away. There was something for me missing in those things that I was doing. There was, for me, a deeper call, a deeper road that I wanted to walk and was meant to travel. And ironically, in that interim time is when I actually was a part of being one of the first entertainment producers for online TV. This was way back before video online or anything like that. And I didn't know it at the time, why I was there. I was actually waiting to do a movie and all of that sort of thing. And I thought, this will just be a quick little part-time thing. And it ended up being quite something that I enjoyed immensely. And it never, it was one of those things I didn't understand why that came up. Why did that show up for me until many years later, and now certainly seeing how it's all come together really beautifully in producing my own show now.
Dave, that is the faith component, because there's so many of our life experiences where there's not exact reason, there's not exact cause. As we veer off course, something that interferes, and so,
or what we what we think is off course.
Yeah,
yeah. I've had that in my own life.
Yes.
Most people know me as a mental performance coach in pro sports, but I was also very involved in the music industry to one point of running a record label with Universal Distribution.
Nice.
And I realized one time when things were going, I just went, you know what? I love music. That's why I did this. But I don't like running a record label.
Right.
It wasn't my calling, and so I had to really evaluate and go, what is it that I truly, truly love?
Absolutely.
And when you have faith, it just comes to you, and then you can go on. And your passion and your purpose and your desire is all there to push through those brick walls, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And it's part of that is recognizing, you never gave up. You kept going, but there's some different directions that it went. But it's all part of who you are as a person that has a voice and wants to get it out there.
Absolutely. And it did take, taking a pause. It's okay to do that when we're on a path, we're on a road, to recognize it's okay to pause. It's okay to stop and reevaluate and take some time and, really listen and hear what is your passion, what is in your heart and your soul as your biggest thing that's for you
hear
to
that
do.
voice out of the shadows.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, the pause, too, I love it. RESPA. You haven't learned RESPA, but that's one of our animals in Be a Beast.
Oh, I love
and we've talked about it in the past. But
in terms of relax, evaluate, strategize, patience, which could
pause.
be that pause.
Yeah, the patience is
and
the
then
pause.
act.
Then
There it
act.
is.
There it is, right there.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Or, Gina, I want you to stay with us. We're going to bring Roger Anthony back out of the bush and talk to us about this very component on faith and hope. You're listening to Be a Beast on Nelson Radio with Gina Rose, the next generation of Oprah. How do you like that introduction?
I like it.
888-888-2136. Stay with us. Roger Anthony coming out of the bush.
Angels Radio, AM 830.
This is Nelson with Be a Beast Radio, and I'm coaching you to contact Brian Chu from OC Wills and Trust. Be prepared for the inevitable. He can contact you, direct you on your estate plan, and for veterans, qualified veterans 65 or older, there is the possibility of a $25,000 tax-free VA benefit. OC Wills and Trust provides a free evaluation as to whether you or your loved ones can qualify. Find out more, 888-888-2136, or click through at nelsonradio.com. Do you ever want a secret weapon? Be a Beast training video is your weapon. From the locker room to the boardroom, success is not by accident. Performance is not by chance. You want to get your mind right? Perform at the highest level? Dominate your marketplace? Be a Beast training video is the answer. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available for you to live it fully. You can do it too. The Be a Beast training video is your secret weapon. 888-888-2136. Let me say that again. 888-888-2136 or text BEAST to 313131.
Angels Radio.
AM 830.
And this is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio, heard right here on KLAA AM 830 with Dave Austin, mental performance coach, and myself, Nelson. Call, click, or text 888-888-2136. Click through at nelsonradio.com, or easiest of all, simply text the word BEAST to 313131, and we'll get you engaged in this training that will help you regardless if it's in your business life, your athletic life, your aspirations that you want to do in business, that you want to pursue. It really applies to any aspect, doesn't it, Dave?
Every aspect, and I love it because now this is the part of the segment of the show where we bring Roger Anthony out of the bush, and he anchors us. Why do we use animals? It's because, in that moment of pressure, in that moment when a decision has to be made, one word can trigger it. And so today, having our guest Regina on, I'm just so excited, Regina, to see where he's going to anchor our faith in, and our hope that she had to go through and now have this television show that's being out there for everyone to be lifted and inspired.
Right. Are you inspired yet? That's the moniker that I think you should have, the bumper sticker. Are you inspired yet? That's our Gina Rose.
I love it.
So, Roger, did we get you out of the bush?
Yep, I'm back. I've come out of the bush into the big smoke. In Australia, we say whenever you travel to Sydney, which is the biggest city in Australia, that you were there in the big smoke. And most bush boys don't like to be in the big smoke for a long time. So I'm glad to get out of the bush for a little while, but I'm also equally glad to get back to the bush.
So you've been with us on the show. Take us there.
Well, thank you, Nelson and Dave and Gina. What a great section that was, and very inspiring. The reason we use a dove in our lineup of animals, there's 37 animals, and believe it or not, the very last animal in our transformational change program is a dove. A dove represents historically never to give up and to have hope and to have faith. And so when that dove came back with the olive branch in its mouth, they had sent it out with faith, but they may not yet have had the hope. And so when it finally came back with that olive branch, little twig in its mouth, the participants and those who were on board the ark now had hope. And there's a beautiful statement that comes from a very ancient document that says that faith is to hope for the things which are not seen but which are true. And so when we have faith, we have hope. And when we have hope, we have the courage and confidence to continue on. So when you look at the dove by the name of Faiho, F-A-I-H-O, F-A-I for faith and H-O for hope. And it's the very last principle that anchors transformational change, human transformational change in our 37 lineup of animal characters. So always remember Faiho, never give up. We heard from Morgina, as good as a singer she was, someone just had to say something to do with her voice that she wasn't that good and was never going to make it. And she, in her words, lost the confidence to continue on and then spent a couple of years not singing. So it's very easy, no matter how strong we are, to lose faith and hope. Big key, though, remember, when we have hope, we have the courage and confidence to hold on no matter what, because hope is made up of courage and confidence. So when hope is extracted, we lose the courage and confidence to continue on. Always remember the dove, faith and hope, and never, ever let go of that which you know in your heart is going to change not only your life, but the lives of those people that your mission and vision was designed to do.
And I think it's so appropriate because we see so many examples, whether it's in entertainment, in business, where there's that moment, that unseen moment of, oh, what am I doing? Whether that's doubt seeping in or fear seeping in. And this Faiho is a perfect illustration, a perfect mind trigger to bring us, snap us back in, is I don't have to see it.
Yeah, Argina, you're still here with us, and you said it beautifully that, doubt comes in.
Absolutely.
I mean, doubt happens to all of us. I mean, it's real. Mm-hmm. But with Faiho as your guide, man, it takes you right out of the doubt. Would you agree?
I love that. I love Faiho. I'm absolutely going to incorporate that for myself on a daily basis and share that, because I think it's incredibly powerful to remind us why never give up, right? To keep moving forward.
Recently in our Be a Beast series, it's step 9, and I got asked by a chaplain in the Army, said that every military person, we have something that we give them to inspire them, and they asked us if we would gift the military Faiho. And I said, oh my,
yeah,
we're doing it. We're doing it.
Oh,
so our military men and women are going to be having the video of Faiho. I love it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That is dynamic, and I think it's a great way to segue into where we always end our show. We have two groups that we've aligned ourselves with, one of which is Treasures of Africa. And this is started by a woman, Orgina, that you have to meet, Rita Langland. Right here in Tustin, had a heart for the AIDS pandemic, went to the epicenter down in Moshi, Tanzania, and started an orphanage. She now houses 50 kids in this orphanage, and it's different than so many relief organizations. She is providing a safe harbor for them, education, clean drinking water, but she's providing a much different mindset. I'm going to call it this beast mindset, where these kids are being raised up to come back into their community and become difference makers, so that they are becoming empowered to change their circumstances, not just be the recipients of relief. And there's this little girl that I want to introduce you to. Her name is Diamond, and Diamond is such a powerful story. And I want to call out our listeners to consider sponsoring her. She was thrown out in the trash, Dave. She was found roadside in a heap of corn husks that had been discarded, and that was 6 years ago. She was thrown out as a baby. She's now this vibrant 6-year-old girl that's alive and inspired and has her version of Feiho. I can't wait to get down to Moshi, Tanzania, and introduce her to Feiho.
That sounds fabulous. I love that.
And so with Treasures of Africa, they're expanding their orphanage. They're bringing it up to now house 105 kids with a 5-acre parcel that they just acquired, and it's under development. It's an example of how we can have impact here in the U.S. on different parts of the world and get them into beast mode, Dave.
I love it. I love it. It's all the little things we do that make the big things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And each person really stepping up to do what's theirs to do. Each one of us is so needed and so necessary. So it's great she's had the courage to do that.
Well, you have a larger strength, like with what you're doing with your show. Michelle Patterson, who we've had on the show, and is so wonderful with what she's doing with the Women's
California Women's
Conference. It's coming up in May. It's so remarkable how we're helping to make change take place in everyone's life.
And this is what our Be a Beast training series is all about. Get engaged. Be a part of improving your mental performance. Contact us direct. 888-888-2136. Click through at nelsonradio.com, or easiest of all, text the word BEAST to 313131. We'll get you in beast mode. Offer extended. Offer not accepted. This is Nelson with Nelson Radio, and you're challenged by today's rush to real estate, all combined with a concern that by the time you find your dream home, higher rates will price you out of the market. I've got the answer. With my Mortgage Market exclusive lock and shop rate guarantee, you can freeze today's low interest rates, shop for your new home, all with a peace of mind that your rate is waiting for you at the finish line. Call or click 888-888-2136 or click through on strongcreditrewards.com.